Hey guys, Jeff here from Armada Academy. We are starting a series on Wyckoff, Richard Wyckoff, and we're going to go over his accumulation and distribution and what it takes to understand what this guy was. First of all, who was Richard Wyckoff? He was an investor from a very early age in the early 1900s who took a look at the charts and started to see some patterns and then made the realization that there were big, strong hands out there that were pushing the market to do certain things to trap weak hands into making bad decisions. And these strong hands would take advantage of those weak traders to make money. And so what he did was he developed a trading strategy that did what it could to follow those strong hands so that he could trade alongside them, because those are the people that really move the market. In crypto, oftentimes you hear the phrase whales. That more or less, it's not exactly. It's more about institutions when it comes to trading. But when it comes to crypto, there's a lot of institutions that aren't in crypto yet because it's not completely regulated. So we're talking about mostly whales here. So when you're looking at a chart, you're going to see this, and we're going to get more in depth as the series go. This is just the very first part, and we're going to be trying to keep these videos small, by the way, short, so quick and to the point. So when you're looking at a regular chart, you have the accumulation phase. Price will go up. Then there's typically a break in that price going up where it kind of settles down a little bit. We're calling this reaccumulation. Then as we go up, we have distribution. Then it starts to come back down. And then again, just like over here, we have a break with a redistribution. And then from there, it can go down here. It can go up here. It doesn't really matter. It's going to go down from redistribution. But what it does after that, because it can totally redistribute again, which is what we're actually seeing in Bitcoin, right? Which is what we have been seeing in Bitcoin, like for the past year, as we've been seeing multiple redistributions over and over and over. It's not necessarily going to follow this exact pattern here, and that's why a lot of people lost a lot of money thinking we were accumulating when we were actually still redistributing. So what is accumulation? Accumulation is just what it sounds like. Strong hands are buying up crypto. They're buying up everything, while weak hands are selling because weak hands think the price is going to go down. And so they're trying to get out of the market. And we'll get more into that later. But basically, they're being shaken out. And once the strong hands are confident that they have shaken out enough, they're going to start to push the price up. Then a reaccumulation is a point where the strong hands are still buying up all of that stuff, all of that crypto that the weak hands still don't have confidence in the market. Then we get to distribution. From distribution, the weak hands have now gained confidence in the market. They think price is going to continue up, like so. But what ends up, But what ends up actually happening is the strong hands are like, oh, you guys are confident, huh? Retail, you're confident? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to sell, and we're going to fill all of your dumb orders, and we're going to sell, we're going to short, and then that ends up pushing price down. And then you get into redistribution, and redistribution can happen over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's what we're seeing now. There's still too much confidence in crypto. And so what ends up happening is the strong hands are like, oh, you want to buy? You think we're at the bottom? All right, I'm going to sell. And then what it ends up doing is it ends up pushing it back down. And you can kind of keep an eye on this if you're watching some big wallets. And you can totally do that. You can totally watch big wallets. There's apps out there that allow you to do it. That allows you to see what they're doing. When you see them transferring crypto from like their own private wallet into like Coinbase or whatever, that's a pretty strong sign that they're getting ready to sell. So it's something to keep an eye on and to keep an eye out for. So real quick, I'm going to clear the chart and I'm going to try to show you this happening. It's retroactive, obviously. I can't show you leading up to it. But I'm going to show you Bitcoin so that we can take a look at what it looks like on the chart. And then we'll be done. Okay, so what we have here, we have Bitcoin from the beginning of time, but we're going to start it right here. This is an accumulation right here. This is the very first accumulation right here. If you recall from that infographic I showed, accumulation. It's a little bit bigger. Accumulation. And then right here is that little spot I was talking about, where we have a reaccumulation. And then we have the next spot on the chart, which is a distribution. And how do we know this is a distribution? Well, we were at an all-time high. That's always a good sign. But price came back down. Now, if we're going off of that chart that we saw because price went down after here, by the way. That's why it's a distribution. If price had continued up above this, because it hit this level, if it had been like somewhere around here, we could have called this a reaccumulation as well. I'm calling this a distribution just because of how it ended out, because we went back down to this reaccumulation level. And then from here, we actually had another accumulation. Right here. And why did we distribute and not redistribute? Why did we distribute and then accumulate? Plain and simple, weekends got out of the market. They were scared. And so strong hands were like, all right, this is a good opportunity. I'm taking it. I'm running with it. So we ended up getting another accumulation here. And this led to a reaccumulation right here. It's a little tight. It's a little tight in there. Whoa, what are you doing? I don't want all that. Get out of here. Reaccumulation. So after that accumulation, we got a reaccumulation here. A very short one, but reaccumulations and typically redistributions are usually shorter time periods than your accumulations and your distributions. Obviously, that's not going to play into effect as we move, but that's just typically what it will be. Then up here, we had a distribution. And if anybody that knows trading was paying attention, they should have known that this was the time to sell. This was absolutely positively the time to sell. Basically, what you're doing is you're looking at the market. And the market says, oh my gosh, we're going to 80,000, we're going to 120,000, we're going to 180,000. When you see stuff like that all over the news, that's a very strong sign that you're counter trading the news, right? That's just another way of looking at it. And then right here, right here, we had a redistribution. And at this point, people were not convinced. We're going to say re-D. Let's say redis. I don't want to say re-D. We're going to call this a redistribution right here. Right here was a critical point because it looked like accumulation. It really looked like accumulation. It looked an awful lot like we were going to do the same thing here. Just like, see how this is a reaccumulation here. It looked very much like we were going to do the exact same thing here. But we didn't because, once again, the market thought we were going to go up. And so when the market thinks we're going to go up, that's when strong hands do what they're going to do. Then yet again, we had another redistribution right here. Another one. And yet again, the market thought, we're going up, man. This is it. It's time. Well, sorry. Not how it worked out. Then we came back down here, and believe it or not, this is yet another redistribution. This is a small one, but it's yet another one. Anytime you have a little break in this, and if we were to zoom in and disassemble this, you would see the patterns a little bit easier. It's hard to see when it's this zoomed out on the weekly, but yeah. So then we're here now. So what do we have? What is this? So my friends, This is actually an accumulation. We are actually on our way. We are exiting an accumulation. And at this point, we don't know if this is a reaccumulation or a redistribution. But this is an accumulation. We had multiple confluences confirming that. Really, this big blue candle here was a pretty good sign. But we knew around this area that it was a good opportunity to purchase Bitcoin, and I'll explain in future videos why we knew that, because I've kind of gone over it in previous videos. But typically when you buy during an accumulation in this area, or I mean if you're lucky in this area, but this is risky here because we don't know whether it's an accumulation or a redistribution at this point. Once we're here and we're recovering these previous levels, it's pretty obviously an accumulation, and it's a good time to buy. It's a good time to buy. And then this shakeout right here scares the weekends out. That's basically what that is. That's a shakeout. But look what happened. The very next week was a huge, massive blue candle after this shakeout. So that's something that we'll talk about later in a future video. We're not there right now. But what is this right here? We don't know yet. And that's where it gets tricky, because this could very absolutely be a distribution. It does not have to be a reaccumulation. It could very likely be a redistribution, or a distribution. So we don't actually know yet what this is. We will as we get closer to the end. And if I zoom in, I could probably postulate a guess. But it's also important to know like what the market is thinking. And right now, it's pretty balanced. There's people that think we're going to go up. There's people that think we're going to go down. It's quite balanced. If you want to know my personal opinion, I believe that this is a distribution and we are going down. And we'll have to see as this series goes if whether I was right or not. But I do believe that we are doing a very quick distribution, because once again, I don't think there's enough panic in the market. I don't think there's enough fear in the market for strong hands to have the confidence to push us up. So I do feel we're going to have more pain in the coming weeks, but it will end. Don't worry, it won't continue. It won't continue to go down forever. So let's say I am right. This is a distribution. Then it's definitely going to go at least to this level here, which is in the low 20s, and then from there we'll have to see what happens. But more than likely, I think we are going to come and at least test this bottom around 15 once more. But we'll have to see as it develops. So this is more or less Wyckoff. Now, obviously, there's a lot more ins and outs to all of this. Oh, this is all messed up. There's a lot more ins and outs to all of this. And we will get into that in future videos. This is only the first. This is a very basic sample instructional video. I'm going to do my best to put these out once a week. But I promise you, I will finish this series, and we will get through all of the major points of Wyckoff one at a time. Thank you so very much for watching. Please come check out our Discord server, linked in the description below. We have signals as well as other material to help you there. Take it easy, guys.